I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm going to talk about a few things that I read in comments on the internet and wanted to explain, and a project I'm into, and just sit back and, grab a donut and a cup of coffee and just listen to me beat my jaws for a while. One of the comments was that I'm using too much or a lot more wick than I need to in my bongo stove. So let me explain my point of view on that. If you study how wick actually burns alcohol, it only burns on the surface. So anything below the surface is, other than a small trail down to the source to wick up the fuel source, is just wasted. So if you look at that, look at it from that point of view, this bongo has way more carbon felt wick than it needs. It's not that much of a weight problem, but it's a price problem, and I could make it some lighter and a lot cheaper if I didn't put so much carbon felt wick in it. Okay, and that appears to be a valid argument on the face of it, with what input you would have, not knowing the whole story. So, as Paul Harvey would say, here's the rest of the story. The reason why this is solid full of carbon felt wick, right from the top all the way down to the bottom, is because I wanted all the alcohol in the stove, and we all know that you fuel it up and it runs for 6 minutes. That 6 minutes worth of alcohol I wanted completely and totally captured in carbon felt wick. Now, if I just put a 1-inch disc of wick in the top, it would burn fine if I had a small piece going down to the bottom. But if you tilted it up sideways, the alcohol would be uncaptured in there, free sloshing, and it would run out by the edge of the wick and run onto the table and catch fire, and you'd have a puddle of alcohol on fire. So what I opted to do to get rid of that problem, and I had that problem in the beginning, was to completely fill the stove with carbon felt wick. Very little difference in the volume of the alcohol the stove will hold, and very little difference in weight. But the really big plus on the whole thing is now, because this is solid full of carbon felt wick, when you charge it up, all the alcohol is captured in carbon felt wick. So if you turn it right upside down, the alcohol can't come out because it's all wicked up by the carbon felt wick. So the stove is totally safe. If you tip it over, which I've done in other videos, nothing runs out. And that's the reason why they're full of carbon felt wick and don't just have a disc on the top. And I thought that was worth mentioning. Okay, that's one. Second off is, this is the choke hazard proto I was working on. Now, after running this a while, I discovered that because it doesn't have any silicone ring on it to insulate the top from all the alcohol in the bottom, it tends to boil the alcohol in the bottom, which is an undesirable characteristic. So in order to make this work correctly, I would have to put a silicone sleeve in it to insulate it so that the top felt holder could not transfer its heat down to the bottom and boil the alcohol. Well, if I'm going to do that, I might just as well make a bongo, because that's basically what I'm going to have when I get done. So this is on hold until I rethink it. Okay, that's two. This is three. I always like to have something in my pack for a stove and a pot or a cooking system that's more unique than anybody else, and I've always done that, and I've always carried the best of my pack from Mini Bowl Design. Well, a lot of you guys are buying my very best gear, so I got to one up you guys somehow, because I can't just carry a Bongo Pro and a flat bottom pot, even if it's copper. I just can't one up you guys. So here's the deal, and I don't plan on selling these in the store, although if I perfect it and find an easy way to make it, eventually I may. But here's my idea. I want to build a module that is a pot stand, a windscreen, a stove, all in one. Just one solid module that just is permanently hooked right to the bottom of the pot. You just take the pot out, hook up the fuel line, charge it with your fuel bottle, and cook. When you get done, you take the fuel line off, blow out the stove, put it back in the Ziploc. I've been machining on two pieces that I'm going to joined together to do this. I've got a lot more machining left to do. And the biggest problem I have is I don't have a lot of height to play with, because when I get all done, this has to fit in some kind of a Ziploc container to be, you know, protected and be the way I want it. So I'm dealing with, and I spend a lot, probably 3/4 of the time I spend designing something is spent getting clearances down so everything will fit. If I could just design stuff with no size restrictions, I'd be a lot better off, but everything has to fit. So, you know, and in order to do this, I've got to build a stove that's really low and wide to keep enough fuel volume to make it feasible. I'd like to have 10 minutes of fuel volume and still have it low enough so that everything will fit in a Ziploc when I get done. So that's where I am, and when I finish this, I'll have it on the video to show you. And, you know, if I figure out an easy way to do it, I'll probably sell them the stove, but that's at least months away, I would say, the way this is going. Robert, the guy that Robert Going, the guy I had in my video a while back, I've contacted him, and he's going to come out sometime when the weather clears up, because it's supposed to snow for the next 3 days, and he's going to bring out his hammock. He backpacks in the wintertime, and he sleeps in the hammock at night in the wintertime, so he has all the quilts and all that stuff. And he's going to come out, and we're going to go snowshoeing for a while, and we're going to set up one of his hammocks so I can experience, you know, that level of comfort in cold weather, because I've never been in a wintertime hammock before, and I'm really looking forward to it. Looks like a lot of fun. Get out, look at his snowshoes, and tell some stories, and set up a hammock. And hey, maybe we'll even cook some cake with one of those great ovens while we're out. That'd be fun too, because I imagine he hasn't experienced that. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to that, and I really enjoy the time I spend with Robert. So that'll be in a video. I'll try to get a video of it, and he wants to get a video of it, and I'll have that on one of the videos in the evening too. So that's where I am on everything I'm doing right now. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, and enjoy some really great meals out on the trail. Enjoy the great outdoors, support the cult, click your little heart out, and more important than anything, have a great day. Bye-bye.